Okay, so I'm going to walk you through using the Edit-Transfrom-Distort command here in Photoshop to enable you to simulate your cell promotion piece. So if you look here, you'll see that I have the elements that I'm going to need. I have, I'll just turn off the visibility. I've got my box that I'm going to simulate all my work on. I've got a piece of hay, another piece of hay copy that I will need later. I have a white bar which I'm going to use over the hay so that we can read my type layer. So with all of these elements in place, I'm going to use this as the cover for my box. So now that I have my elements, I'm going to go ahead and take them, and a good rule of thumb, or something that I always usually do, is I usually duplicate the layers and then I have a copy of them. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off my duplication. And I'm going to go ahead and take these layers and I'm going to merge them together. Now, once they're merged together, it's just one big graphic. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, Distort. Now we see that we have other options here. We have Scale, Rotate, Skew, Distort, Perspective, Warp. You would think you might want to use perspective, but what we're going to do is, since I have a rectilinear box, I'm going to use distort because I can use the corners as my clues as to how to distort this. So I'm going to go ahead and pick distort. And you'll see that it's given me my edit nodes on the corners. And I can literally just click and drag these nodes to where they would be on the box. And I might want to zoom in a little bit just to make sure I'm not too far off. There's going to be some changes. There's going to be some differences because this is a 3D actual image, a real picture that I'm trying to squish this fake computer graphic onto. So when I think it's pretty much matched what I want, I can double click and it's going to apply it. I can zoom out a little bit. Now I've kept the resolution down on this just because it'll be easier to work with. Now what I want to do is apply hay to the other sides. So you'll remember that I kept a version of the hay copy. And the trick is going to be to get it to have a similar sort of scale. So I do know that I'm going to have to scale it down a little bit to keep the size of the hay relatively the same. Now I could just go the easy route, kind of get it close, and then just kind of rotate it and put it in place. And I might do that for part of it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and undo and edit back to here and take a look at it. And that's still not really giving me what I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my history palette and I'm going to go back to here. Now, I can take a chunk of this hay, and I do know that I'm going to want to have it turned at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to go ahead and take a chunk of this hay, cut it, paste it in, and then I'm going to do the same thing. Edit, transform, distort. I'm going to bring it down to here, down to here, here, and here. And I'm going to zoom in just to make sure that I'm doing my best to line this up. And I'm really glad I did zoom in because I can see where it was quite off. And I can hit double click and apply it. Now it's a little much. What I might wind up doing is holding down my shift key, scaling it up a little bit, and then moving my or actually rather moving it on above this, and then later on I'll come through with like a soft edged eraser and just kind of like tidy it up. Now you'll see the white showing through, but you get the idea. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put and of course I have to clean up some things, but I am going to come back here and grab another chunk of hay. Probably this much. I'm just cutting and pasting. And of course it's hidden underneath everything, so I'm going to put it on top. And then literally I'm going to go Edit, Transform, Distort. And I'm going to bring it up, bring it over. That's looking pretty weird. And come over here, zoom in once again. And bring it down. And let's see, maybe bring it up a little bit. And double click to apply it. I'll probably do the same thing with that side that I did with the other one, or plan to do, and that is to erase it, maybe make it a little more, blend in a little more. I mean, if we want to, we can come over here right now and I can erase or trim the edge of this box right here. And if we zoom out, we see that we've got a pretty good simulation. There's some rough edges, which I will clean up later, but you all know how to do that. So that is one way that I can simulate what my self-promotion piece is going to look like. So hopefully that'll be helpful to you. And if you have any questions, as always, just reach out to me. Thanks.